Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
The first of a string of 90-degree days is staring at us tomorrow. We also have an air quality alert in effect. We'll tell you how long the heat hangs on.
Watch yourselves here.
She was caught on cell phone video driving through a group of protesters who were crossing the street in Taylor. Now police say they know who she is.
But we begin with Detroit Mayor Mike Duggan laying out ways to save on your auto insurance bill come July 2nd. Thanks for being with us here for the news at 11. In just 2 weeks, the state's new auto reform law will take effect. Such a volatile matter to many. It is the first major change to Michigan's auto insurance system in more than 40 years, going from a no-fault insurance system to one of choice. Mara McDonald, live downtown. Mara, tonight, the mayor delivered an hour-long presentation wanting everybody to know what to look for, but also what they need to ask their agents.
Well, Devin, that's right. And it's not just good for Detroiters, but really any of us, because we're all navigating this. And first thing, we all need to become incredibly comfortable with the declaration page of our insurance, specifically looking at the personal injury protection, or PIP, which up until this point, we really didn't have much choice about.
July 2nd, you have some decisions to make when it comes to the PIP on your auto insurance.
You have to act for yourself, or it won't change.
Mayor Duggan expressing disgust that there hasn't been a full court press from the insurance companies explaining your options.
If you take out your bill, there are 2 places on your bill that require you to buy medical coverage.
The PIP and the MCCA, or on some bills it might say statutory. Now, here's the deal. You can keep your unlimited PIP if you want to. If you already have health insurance or Medicare, you can opt out entirely if everybody who lives in your house has health care coverage, not including Medicaid. Or you can choose reduced amounts of the PIP, either $500,000 or $250,000, which will lower your bills but not as drastically as opting out entirely. At the end of the day, it depends on how confident you are in your own health care plan and whether you're satisfied with what you're paying currently for auto insurance.
And if you want to change on July 2nd, if you want to go from Allstate to Farmers to Progressive, if you want to switch from PIP to non-PIP, you can do that on July 2nd. You do not have to wait till November or December. You can do it whenever you want. And so if your agent is telling you can't do it, call a different agent.
Back here live, the best advice for all of us right now. Call your agent. Ask for quotes based on that sliding scale. With unlimited, without unlimited, with the in-between options. Tell them to sharpen their pencil. And if you don't like what they have to say, start calling around. Bottom line, if you do nothing, and if you don't call your agent or try and make any changes, it will remain at unlimited. Devin, Kimberly, back to you.
Now, Mara, there are other factors here insurers can't use anymore starting July 2nd, like gender, for example, but others.
Well, that's right. I mean, this is an overhaul of the system. So before, they could take into account your gender, your marital status, your degree of education. You know, do you have a college degree, your credit score? They can't do that now. So things are changing. This is going to be new for all of us.
Sure is.
Back to you.
Yeah. All right, Mara.
Well, upper 80s this afternoon, but now we're about to get into the 90s.
I'll see your 80s and raise you. Ben joins us from Ben's place. Also, that air quality alert also extended, right?
Yeah, you got to factor that in. Plus, you know, this is really the first heat wave we've been through with masks on. We got to take that into consideration, too. But tomorrow, we're going to see temperatures even hotter than we saw today. We maxed out at 87. That's the coolest high temperature we're going to see until Monday of next week. Tomorrow, we go to the 90s, and that is where we stay through Father's Day weekend. That's what the air temperature will be for the next 3 days. Coming up, we'll look at how the humidity will play into that factor and how much thunderstorm activity we can expect to see on Father's Day. But Devin, as you mentioned, air quality alert tomorrow. It's for ground level ozone. So if you've got breathing difficulties, take it easy, stay inside as much as possible. We'll talk more about that and what's to come on the backside of all this heat in just a few minutes, guys.
Yeah. Okay, Ben, thank you. Taylor police have identified the woman in this video from Tuesday night who drove her car through a protest, nearly hitting people. The 68-year-old driver was interviewed, and her fate now lies with the Wayne County prosecutor. Jason Colthorpe is live tonight after speaking with that woman's family. Jason, what did they have to say?
Well, Kim, they say flat out she was in fear for her life in that moment in that intersection. However, other cars were also in that area, but they were going around the protesters. They were making a Michigan left on Goddard to avoid that situation. And the woman who was leading that protest says this woman, this driver, came right at them. New video shows another angle of the protest in Taylor Tuesday, where a car drove through protesters who were in the intersection of Goddard and Telegraph.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Hold on. You're not going to do that.
An older man dove out of the way as his bike was run over.
That was pure hate, it was pure evil, and it was a hate crime.
Trisha Duckworth organized the protest.
She drove into a crowd, she blew her horn telling us to get the heck out the way, and even when I was in front telling her to wait, she kept edging forward. Nobody was touching her at that point in time. And there's camera that show that.
Taylor police were able to identify the 68-year-old female driver and interview her. She didn't want to go on camera for this story, but I spoke to her son, who says at that moment in the intersection, a female protester grabbed her seatbelt and another was reaching for her to, in her mind, pull her out of the car. He says she feared for her life and felt there was no other choice but to hit the gas and escape. But those that were there simply don't buy that.
That is the common story with whiteness. Excuse me for saying that, but it is what it is. Everybody wants to say they want to fear for their life. If you were really fearing for your life, you would not have even came into an intersection that was full of people and that was full of protesters.
Again, as we say, the warrant request has been submitted to the Wayne County prosecutor, which has a few options here. Obviously, they can file charges which could be wide-ranging in this case, or they could choose not to file any charges, or they could send it back to Taylor Police for further investigation. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Kim, back to you.
Jason, are protesters allowed to demonstrate in the street without a police escort, or were they just walking across the street? What was going on?
This has really come up on social media as this story has played out, and the short answer is no. And we've covered a lot of protests, and most of them have police escorts, and they've coordinated with protesters to avoid things like this. And in that moment when those protesters were going lawfully down the street on the sidewalks, and then when they went into the street, it became illegal. But whether that plays a part in whether what this woman did was illegal, we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah. We know you'll continue to follow it for us, Jason. We appreciate it. 225 new cases of COVID-19 reported by the state today, along with 25 more lives lost to the virus.
In Lansing, both the House and Senate passed resolutions calling on Governor Whitmer to stop her nursing home policy, which has led to the commingling of COVID-positive patients with COVID-negative ones. As Michigan's numbers continue their downward trend, there were more than 27,000 cases reported nationwide. That is the highest daily number that we have seen in 6 weeks. Texas, Florida, Arizona, seeing the biggest spikes right now. Back here at home, Governor Whitmer today extended Michigan's state of emergency until July 16th, again rankling some of her opponents on the other side in Lansing. It was previously scheduled to expire, by the way, tomorrow.
A Juneteenth film festival will not be taking place tomorrow at Imagine Theater in Royal Oak. The theater announced today it has postponed the festival after the Attorney General's office says criminal charges would be filed if the festival was held. Right now, indoor movie theaters have not been approved to reopen by the governor. Meanwhile, Imagine put out a statement reading in part, the hypocrisy of our governor's orders is unfathomable in magnitude because strip clubs are open, massage parlors are open, and yet there is alleged science and data to support the continued closure of movie theaters. If there's anything more arbitrary and capricious in governmental behavior, I certainly haven't experienced it in my lifetime. End quote. That was from the chairman of Imagine Theaters. Earlier this week, Imagine announced the week-long festival would donate all proceeds to the United Negro College Fund. Imagine says it plans to hold the festival at a later date.
An update tonight on the statewide response rate to the 2020 census. Michigan has now tied Iowa for the third highest response rate in the country, 67.8%, which also means Michigan is the first state in the nation to surpass its final response rate back in 2010 when 67.8% responded to the census statewide. So already better than that. But as we reported last night, it's not all good news. Detroit's response rate coming in at only 47.2%, one of the lowest rates among major American cities. The deadline to respond still a few months away, October 31st.
The government is refuting claims by lawmakers that it used Predator drones to monitor protests in Detroit over the past few weeks. Representatives Brenda Lawrence and Rashida Tlaib, along with 33 other members of Congress, sent a letter to the heads of multiple agencies alleging the drones used facial recognition technology and collected private information from demonstrators. Customs and Border Patrol says it did not fly over any Detroit protests, and the drones are not equipped with facial recognition technology. It says the drones are equipped with cameras and radar to help with patrolling the border, assisting law enforcement with surveillance, and providing disaster relief. We've posted their full statement on our website at clickondetroit.com. An alert for Google Chrome users.
New tonight, the security flaw that might have allowed hackers to spy on millions of people. But first, a police chase downriver involving a home invasion suspect driving the wrong way leads to a woman being reunited with her stolen puppy. We've got that next.